Good day guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to answer a couple of questions about getting around Angeles City on a scooter, particularly if you're staying up this end, Clarkview, and you're heading down to the east side walking street. Now that's the former Paradise Bar end, which is now Western Fields Bar. So if you wanted to go down to that end rather than the west side, what's actually the best way to get down there? Would it be best to head straight down Don Hueco and onto Fields Avenue? Or can you actually go through Clark Freeport these days instead? Now there is a side gate, but I'm not sure if they let you take a scooter through the side gate. Anyway, so we'll go and check that out, and then on the way back I'm going to see if I can bring my scooter straight up Walking Street in the afternoon, and see if they'll let me do that. So let's jump straight on the bike and let's get into it. Good day guys, we're over here at La Grande in Angeles City, of course, and we're heading down towards Walking Street today. We want to go down to the east side of Walking Street. We're not going to take the obvious route today, which would be to head straight out onto Don Hueco. We're going to go in through the side gate through Clark, because there's been quite a bit of roadworks down there on Fields Avenue, so we want to avoid that and we want to get down to the west side as quickly as possible. So I reckon this is the best way to go. And then on the way back we're going to come back up through Walking Street. Something you might not realise you can actually do on a scooter during the daytime, so I thought I'd give that a try and see what happens. Sometimes they have the barriers up, sometimes they don't. So we're already working our way through Clarkview. We're on Mount McKeeling Street, and as you can see, it's really cloudy. We're in the midst of rainy season. The clouds could burst at any point. And we're going to take a left here onto Tamarind Street towards the Hilltop Hotel. It's a little bit easier to get out at the junction just down here onto Don Hueco, and that road gets pretty busy, so it's a good idea to head to this junction. Hilltop Hotel on our left, so that is a well-known short time hotel. And then here we've got Red Planet, one of the popular chain hotels here. But here, yeah, you've got to take your time coming onto Don Hueco. One wrong step and you could get hit by something. Sometimes motorbikes just come bombing down here with no thought of anything, no thought of safety. You often see accidents happening there. So yeah, we're heading west on Don Hueco instead of east towards Walking Street. So we just got to go back on ourselves a little bit, which is why this might not be the quickest way, but it's definitely maybe the more relaxing, and avoids the roadworks down there on Fields Avenue where it can get into a bottleneck. You know, you're riding your luck whether it's bottlenecked or not. Yeah, traffic's a bit busy today. I think it's around 3 p.m. at the moment, and there's a little bit of traffic. You've got cars coming the other way that want to turn into side gate. We're lucky we can just squeeze down the side on a scooter, but you want to pay attention that if you're going into the Clark Freeport zone, you've got to be wearing the correct footwear, otherwise they will try and stop you. So you've got to have closed-toe shoes, which we currently do have, so we're okay. We've been way through, and that applies to you and your pillion passenger as well. So you've got to make sure you're wearing the correct footwear, otherwise they will try and stop you. Now I've always come in wearing shorts and I've never had an issue. I have been stopped wearing sandals, but I've never been stopped for wearing shorts, although I have heard that, you know, the correct wear is to be wearing trousers as well. Now, maybe they don't apply that as strictly as they do with the sandals. So, as you can see here, there's Jollibee and McDonald's just over on our left, and on our right we've got a running path, well, cycle path, but it's also used by runners. You'll see runners running up and down here, and we're heading down Manuel A. Roxas Highway. You can already sense that compared to where we just were before we came in through the side gates, you know, it's quite a contrast. It was so busy and chock-a-block outside, but now feels a bit more orderly once you get inside Clark, particularly in this section as we're heading down towards main gate. Again, on the scooter, this is very straightforward. There's a separate motorcycle lane here, and we can continue straight through. Don't have to stop for a check. And as soon as we come out of main gate, we've got two landmarks either side. On the right is the new Clark City Front Mall, and over on the left is SM City Clark. So if you're headed to SM, you need to straight away cut across to your left and get in that far left lane, and you end up doing a U-turn, and you have to do a couple of U-turns to weave yourself through towards the scooter parking. So we're not doing that today. We're just continuing straight down here towards MacArthur Highway and the west end of Walking Street. Sounds grand, doesn't it? So yeah, as we carry on past SM now, we're heading towards Astro Park, and there's just a set of traffic lights to get. Yeah, so through the traffic lights, and we can see there's a few fast food chains here on our right hand side. You've got a Chowking, there's another Jollibee, so I don't know, what's that, 500 yards between those two Jollibees. And then you've got the Red Lion on the right there that we just passed, and that's a new sports bar, or an English style pub as far as I know. I haven't been in it yet, so that's one that I'm gonna have to come back and investigate. You've got to keep your wits about you, because like, look, this guy's pulled right out in front of me, got his blinkers on, you don't know what he's doing, and he's going about 10 miles an hour, if that, whilst there's, you know, busy traffic. So we'll try and get past him if we can. Yeah, and then you can see, look, there's someone else. I don't know what's going on there, but they're crawling along. So get past them, and we're coming up to MacArthur Highway. This roundabout is busy, so if you are renting a scooter, just have your wits about you on this one. Look, that jeepney was not gonna yield, but he did in the end. Right, so we're heading right here, and I'm just going to pull over before we go to Walking Street, because I'm just going to look for a space to just park the bike. There are a few around, like we're just going to ditch it on the side here. I don't think that's proper parking, but this place is closed anyway, so you can probably get away with leaving it here. Don't know how long you'd want to leave it there, and I'm just going to grab some of that lechon, which is just on the opposite side of the road to Walking Street. So make a quick grab of that pork lechon. I think the place is called Cebu Lechon, so I've picked up some of that, and now we're back on the bike. And this is the west side of Walking Street. So as you can see, if you don't feel like battling the traffic, then this is a good alternative. So Straight up Walking Street, about 3 in the afternoon, you can see that motorbikes, scooters, cars, everyone's allowed on. We've got street vendors, people out drinking, not paying attention. But yeah, you're allowed on here with your scooter from 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now that makes it a bit awkward if you're actually staying on Walking Street, because it means before 4 p.m. you've got to move your scooter, and obviously you start drinking, you tend to forget about that. So I've been caught out with that one before. Yeah, so plenty of bars already open, people are out drinking. You can see here, this is the busy end as we're getting up to the east end of it. Food vendors, lots of food vendors around. Yeah, and a delivery truck parked here, he's blocking the way, but you know, they've got to do what they've got to do. They've got to supply the bars with booze, so we'll let him. Yeah, he probably does that every day. You can see here that there's just a thin gap in the barrier, enough for a scooter to drive through, but it means that if you're in a car, you probably need to stop, honk your horn and wait for, I don't know, the officials to come and let you in. They obviously want to keep tabs on cars going in and out, deliveries and whatnot. Yeah, so it's good that you can still drive a scooter through there. So it's that weird time of day, so you've still got people going out drinking, and I suppose bars are sort of daytime bars are opening up around 11 to 12. And then some nighttime bars, the evening bars are opening around 5, but you've also got 24-hour bars. So, you know, your Angel Witch, Baccara and whatnot, they're 24 hours. So you've got constant supply of people drinking, even, you know, throughout this time when you're permitted to ride a scooter through there. But yeah, you can absolutely drive through. Now we're back on Fields Avenue, and you can see that some of the roadworks have been completed, but not all of them. If you look at the left there's still needs filling in there. It's just the left is crowded, so if you're coming the other way, yeah, it's gridlock. But if you're going this way, then, you know, it's a bit smoother. So we did it the right way round, which is good to know. Okay, so we just passed the main gate jeepney terminal, and we've got ABC, YOLO, you only live once, on our left hand side, and we're heading back up towards Don Hueco. And as you can see, this section, the traffic starts opening up again, so yeah, nice easy ride up here. Got those empty lots here on the left hand side. You've still got the city front mall, so you can get to it from either side. On the right hand side, we're going to just take a little shortcut through the Petron station, but if you were not going through here, it's a very difficult sort of hairpin turn that you'd need to do, so this is much safer. Cut through here, which I assume you're permitted to do, and that's going to bring us straight back to Clarkview. And there's, you know, several entrances, and we're just going to jet down. I think that guy's going there, he was going crazily slow. I think we're just going to jet down this one. So the first one, get off Malabanias Road, and now we're back into quiet streets. A few bumps there, but yeah, we started at La Grande. We've headed up through side gates, which was, you know, the right decision there, and it shows us a couple of options that if you wanted to head down to the west side of Walking Street and you wanted to take your scooter, it's sometimes better to do that and avoid that bottleneck that you get on Fields Avenue. So yeah, then we came back straight up through Walking Street, which you're permitted to do between 4 a.m. and 4 p.m. And as we're heading back onto Fields Avenue, back there, we saw that the traffic was nowhere near as bad going in that direction. So yeah, a couple of useful takeaways. And just remember the closed shoes for both the rider and the passenger as you're going through side gate and into Clark Freeport zone. Yeah, so thanks for joining us for this video, and hope to catch you in the next one.
Careful.
I think you can stop it now, love.